Today, I'm digging into the real life of Bishop William Murphy. He's known for that hit song, Praise is What I Do. But his ministry is what he does on a daily basis. That's why I wanted to meet him at church.
I need to ask you a question.
Oh my God, this don't sound right.
Look at me.
This don't feel like it's gonna end well. What?
Was I dressed okay for church today?
Absolutely. What do you mean?
Church. I was a little girl. I had to wear the dress.
This is
long
not,
dress.
This is not
heels.
that church.
Okay.
This is not that church.
Okay. What is your church?
Our church is a safe haven for people who want to have an encounter with God, and so there's no. Our thing is this: if what you have on draws all of the attention to you, then you might want to put something else on. That what you have on should not become
the conversation.
Exactly. Well, maybe not. Maybe conversation may not be the right word. The distraction is a better word.
Okay.
Because if this is not a fashion show, even though this is the flyest church in the city.
I was getting ready to say, now wait a minute.
This the flyest church in the city. So,
because your dress and your style has always been welcoming. Like, I feel like I can approach you.
That's the whole point. I think that's what made the ministry of Jesus so effective and at the same time so disturbing to the religious order of the day. Remember when, I forget the chapter in the book, but oh God, I hope I know. Yeah,
okay.
the religious order, they're like, if you were such a prophet, you would know that lady there is a prostitute. And Jesus is like, this is the whole point. Like, the whole point of the message of the gospel is to draw people who have felt excluded. So that's what has made our church so special, is that people who have felt excluded, whether it be sexual orientation, whether it be religious upbringing, the lack of one. I mean, just
love. We're just supposed to love.
That's what it is. And I was ministering a few weeks ago, and what I was saying was the word on the streets is that the church is not safe, that we are not safe, that being around Christians is not a safe place for you emotionally, psychologically, that there are a lot of Christians who can't be trusted with your truth because they're so committed to what they consider to be righteousness that they don't understand you got to catch the fish before you can clean the fish.
Yeah.
So we're big on relationship. Let's get in relationship. My conviction is this, Sasha. If I can create, you go back to, I believe it's John chapter 5, where it talks about they were all around the pool of Bethesda. The scripture says there were a multitude of folks around this pool who were sick and lame and blind. Like, everybody at church had something wrong with them. That's where we start on Sundays. Like, everybody here got something wrong with them, starting with me.
Me too.
Everybody in this room has something wrong with you, but my responsibility as the angel of the house is to create an environment where everybody around this pool who has something wrong with them can have an encounter with Jesus. And then Jesus, he shows up to this lame man and he says, what do you really want? You want to be made whole? He goes off on this whole thing about, I don't have a man. And every time I get ready, somebody jumps in before me. Jesus said, what do you really want? And he says to the man, pick up your bed and walk. And my conviction, Sasha, is if I can just trouble the water and create an environment where people can have an encounter with God, Jesus will address your walk. I don't have to tell you that you are in sin. Paul picked it up in Corinthians and he said the works of the flesh are evident. You don't have to tell people they in sin. They know they in sin. That's why they at church, because they know this is my only way of escape. This is the best option I have to get free from this thing that is draining my life and exhausting my spirit. And so I'm just committed to creating atmosphere where people can encounter God. That's why your baby, when he was here, he felt like, oh my goodness, I
feel it. This is my
because
home.
We created space for him to have, and although it was absolutely public, it was so personal.
Yeah.
And this encounter with God that addressed his walk, and now he's in college and moving on to some other things, and you gave me some exciting news. I'm so proud.
Thank you.
Man, I am so proud of you. You tried to have me here crying like a woman with that little audio message you sent me, but it's all good. I love you, man.